Hello, welcome to All the Stars Entertainment Podcast. Today we are pleasured to have our guest here, Michael Colyar, renowned comedian, actor, and he'll be performing here in Denton, Texas with us.
Denton, Texas.
Yes, so it's a pleasure to have you here. My name is Just V, and this is Sharivia Sam. We're going to just ask Mr. Colyar a few questions today to get to know him a little bit more, and a little up close and personal, if you will.
All right, okay, all right.
We hope you don't mind.
All right. Good. I'm glad to be here. Thank you.
Thank you.
So first I just wanted to ask you a couple questions.
All right.
So I was curious, do you approach stand-up differently than how you approached it in your career earlier on?
I don't understand the question. Say it again.
So in today's day, because you know everything is so sensitized and everything, and it's not how it used to be, you know, when your upbringing as a comedian. Do you have to switch that to be a little bit more tasteful, or did you have to switch how you were started out to now?
I don't know. I don't think I've changed anything anytime. I think I've just done whatever was funny at the time and try to relate it to what's going on at the time. But most of the stuff I talk about is universal and it's timeless. So I'm talking about stuff like racism and my addiction. Everyone's addicted to something.
Yeah.
You know, so I'm dealing with addiction. I'm going to be interviewing a guy I met. Actually, he's one of our drivers here, and he does motivational speaking to people who are addicted to gambling. But he does it to school. So he goes to colleges and does a whole lecture about how not to be stuck in gambling. I didn't know that the gambling addiction was that bad. So everyone has an addiction. So whatever the things are that's going on around us, if it's politics going on, we talk about that.
Yeah.
I talk a lot about my mama. Most importantly, I talk about my queen, who is everything, Sonia. So I just think it depends on who the individual is. You know, a lot of people are growing up on video. They're growing up on devices, so they have a different way of approaching comedy than I would, because I'm not just old school, I'm old. And where I come from, you do funny stuff. You know, it's almost like you have some bands that only perform if they have real band.
That's true.
But some people can do a track and they're happy. I'm more like the band. I'm that nigga with the band.
I like that.
The other folks are sort of, they're doing the track thing, you know, but what I am is blessed that I get to do what I love to do, and people pay me for it. And if you can do what you love, and even if you break even, you'll hit the game if you're doing what you love to do. You know, so a lot of people are trapped out here trying to make money, which means they're confused. They don't really understand what it's about, because if you really do what's in your heart, then God is your supply. So
Absolutely.
you'll have everything your heart's ever desired, you know. Okay, next question.
Okay.
Sure. Yeah, thank you for sharing that with us.
So with your lips, did you use two things? Like, did you put a bass one and then a glosser?
I was going to ask.
Very nice.
Thank you very much. It's a lip look, if you will.
It's nice.
I was going to ask you about your look, if that's okay.
I have a look.
You do.
Oh,
Very
so-
dapper.
Well, I'm working on my eyebrows though, because you know I don't have no eyebrows. I got
I'll give
like
you some
5
tips.
gray straight.
I got
How
you.
do I get them to stay consistent? Sometimes they thin, sometimes they bushy, like caterpillars. Once I was high, and I accidentally drew them way up. It looked like I was asking a question.
Goodness.
So,
Eyebrows are important. So
yes,
we
I get
can
up
help
every
you with
morning
that.
and try to do it.
Yeah.
I do a morning show 5 days a week on YouTube, and sometimes I be running so fast I forget to do my eyebrows. I be on the show and I be sitting there really like,
With
so
no
I just pick up
eyebrows.
a marker pen and I do it while we're okay. So what's your question?
My question is, you always have a signature look. At least from what I've seen.
I just like to dress up.
Yes.
Okay.
Has
You
that
never
always-
know, a
is that
party
always-
might break out or something.
Who knows?
I want to be invited.
Has that always been your?
I've always liked clothes, you know.
Even at a young age.
Yeah, I grew up in the 60s, you know, 50s, 50s and 60s. I was born in 57. So people dressed when I came up. Like, you would never see people going to the airport like they go on 9, they draws and flip-flops and bonnets and shit. I mean, when I grew up, people put on nice shirts and slacks. They wore suits just to go to the airport. And then when you watch television, as we was coming up, 60s, 70s, 80s, whenever you saw somebody go to work, they had on a suit. Whenever you saw a parent, even if they had a family show, Dad always had a nice button-down shirt and slacks, you know. So I always liked to. I used to go to high school with suits and briefcases, and people were like, "What the fuck? What's wrong with you?" You know. But I've always enjoyed clothes. So
Nice.
I just go out and have fun with it. I wish I saw what I wore to see TD Jakes over at the Potter's house
Potter's
today.
house,
Shoot,
okay.
I picked up a little ensemble today. It was cold with a gold jacket. Anyway,
That sounds
You
nice.
want
Yeah.
to show us again your photo?
Yeah. You need to see those. You
I
don't take any
wondered.
pictures?
I don't think.
Are you a selfie guy?
No, it's too many pictures
Too
of
pictures?
me.
Aw.
I watch tonight. I do so many pictures. I don't care. Nobody no damn pictures. That's the last thing I want to do is take a picture.
I definitely
With your style, you have a
understand
stylist, or is it just you?
No, it's just me. I just
wow.
grab stuff. Like I don't even have the right socks. Like I didn't stop and get blue socks, so I got a whole blue outfit with
And
brown
they go.
socks. I just make it do what it
It works.
does. You
It
know.
works.
Oh yeah, y'all are flatterers.
No, literally.
So where's the heavy questions? I thought y'all had some deep
So
shit.
yeah, what? Growing up, right? Did
I'm
you?
still
And you're still growing up. And that's a beautiful thing. We should all keep growing up. When you were younger, did you know what was the vital point for you when you were like, this is what I want to do? Because you know, some people battle with choosing what their purpose is and then choosing their talent and not knowing how to navigate that, especially at a young age sometimes. If it's sparked in you, you don't know where to go. What was that vital point for you, and like, how did you, what was the, yes, this is what I'm gonna do, this is my love, I'm gonna be passionate to do that?
I would think probably, and you know, I started this really late too, so I didn't start doing comedy till I was 28. So then that was 1984, and I saw this guy named Eddie Murphy, and there was nothing like him on this planet in 1984. Maybe Michael Jackson, but there was nothing like Eddie Murphy. Eddie Murphy, he was like 23 years old. He had already done Beverly Hills Cops, his first one. He had
That was a
done
good
Trading
movie.
Places, 48 Hours. He had a biggest comedy concert in history. It was called Raw. The biggest video was called Raw, and he saved Saturday Night Live. Saturday Night Live was about to close their doors, and he came on as the star. They haven't closed their doors since, and could wear the fuck out of a red leather outfit. And he did all that and got all that money from telling jokes, you know. And I've been funny my whole life. I said, damn, I didn't know you could make money like that. I said, shit, I better get out the mustard and catch up, you know. So,
Yes, absolutely.
so I went and got Red Fox albums, went in my mama's basement where I was living anyway, and I stood in the mirror and just practiced Red Fox jokes till I could tell them like, man, some of my jokes now are still Red Fox jokes. I've been telling fucking 30 years, you know. He can't use them. And yeah, because I don't think an old joke should die just because the person that wrote it did.
I agree.
So yeah, that got me into it. But I was always trying to be funny because as a child, my mother was raising me and my 4 big brothers. And my dad, he liked to sip a little bit, you know. So we wouldn't always have everything we needed. But my mother, you know, didn't have a lot of time raising all these kids, so I would get her time to tell them jokes. She loved to laugh, so I would come with funny stuff, and it just got to be comfortable and easy just to be funny. Then by high school, I got in all the plays. I was a lead in almost every year, and back at the time I got out of high school, I thought I was going to be an actor, but I'm really a comedian.
Right.
Sometimes I'm blessed to be able to get an acting job, so I act, but comedy is really what pays me.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Speaking of the movies and the film that you were in, out of all of your acting roles, is there one role that you would live in, like day to day, you enjoyed that role so much that you feel like you could?
You know, it's weird. I think it would be my Christmas movie from last year called Hol Day Heartbreaks.
Okay.
Because I played a father. And I have a relationship with my grown daughter right now, and we're dealing with each other and loving each other. In fact, I'm having a father-daughter dinner Tuesday night. I'm going to Vegas to be with my baby. But in here, I had to deal with an ignorant-ass Wayne. What's his name? Country Wayne. So I had to deal with Country Wayne trying to marry my daughter. His ignorant ass, he's walking around. It's Christmas time, so he's got mistletoe on the damn stick and walking over people with the stick, kissing everybody he wants to. So it was a really great show, but it gave me an opportunity to really act, you know, because the wife that I had died, and in this I actually get to go and apologize to her, you know, at the cemetery, because the whole story was I had messed over a woman, so there was a spell put on me. And I was gonna be messed over, and when my daughter turns 30, the first fool that comes along was gonna marry her, which is Country Wayne. And so, the only way I could break that spell is if I go back and apologize to the woman whose heart I broke. So the thing is, I'm going to all these different women. One of them socked me in the eye. One of them's a lesbian now. It's a different story with each one. And finally, I realized the one I need to apologize was my ex-wife who had died. So I have this real dramatic scene I get to do in a cemetery, and then that for me, that's one of my, for my favorite personal parts.
Right.
That's a little film that's out right now too, a film short called Tomato Soup. And it's just two people, me and this little boy, and we're homeless, and a little homeless boy, would I help him with something? No, he helps me with something. He sees that I'm hungry, so he said, well, come with me, and he go down to the 7-Eleven, and he gets some cups of hot water, cause they free, and then he takes as many packages of ketchup as he can, and then we go out and back and sit on the log, and he squeezed it in with some salt and pepper and the hot water, and made tomato soup. And when your ass is living in the street, that is tomato soup. And then I get ready to leave and realize he don't have a place to stay. But I stay behind a dumpster and with a hole in the wall, and I moved the dumpster and let him have the space. So I saved him after he saved me. It's just a real beautiful, beautiful short film that's out now called Tomato Soup. So it's like my favorite, but everybody loved me for a house party. But everybody knows Showboat. They want Toe Jam crackers. You know what I'm saying? They want Showboat. Don't trust nobody. I love that I did that film. Some people hate to become continually connected with one particular thing, but I find it's a great blessing. Because wherever I go, kids know me. These kids who didn't see that shit when it came out. Shit came out 20-something years ago.
Yeah.
These kids didn't see it. They're seeing it right now. And they loving it like the shit came on yesterday. Right. So I go out there and right now they looking at Showboat. I ain't done Showboat so fucking. Showboat's just retired. Showboat is getting senior citizen pay and shit. So that's a very popular one. And I really like, I like doing the animations too. So I did Princess and the Frog.
Yes, please.
Did you see it?
I love Princess and the Frog. That's my favorite girl.
You know my character? Did you see Princess and the Frog?
It's been a while, so
not off
the top of my head.
Okay, I was the cook. When she was talking about she was getting her own restaurant, I said, yeah, you get your own restaurant. I'm gonna win the Kentucky Derby.
That's
right.
And then he threw the plate over so she can go serve.
Exactly. And I'm the character. And I'm the character who's the one you don't want to meet. Because the whole story is there's always gonna be motherfuckers like me. People like me that's gonna try to tell you can't be shit. You can't do nothing. You have to ignore them if you're gonna make it in your life. So my character meant something. Yeah. So I really dug that.
So you said that tapping into those characters, you enjoy that, right? Mm-hmm. So growing up, what would you tell your younger self? Like, if you told your younger self that you were doing all these great things and then becoming a father, becoming a husband, businessman.
I would tell my son, my young me, that I could do all these things I'm doing now. Because the young me wouldn't know. Like, I didn't know the possibilities. I never clue of what's out here in this universe that we can do it. So many adults don't right now. And they're all the way grown all the way up and don't realize that everything's in the palm of our hand. If we keep God first, there's nothing that we cannot do. So when you really plug into life, you ain't doing one thing or two things, you're doing 10 things, you're doing 11 things, and you're doing them like you're breathing. Then on top of that, there's the love aspect. I'm in love. And I'm in love with a woman who loves me like I love her, and her love has changed me, it's transformed me, it's changed my DNA, my mental, physical, spiritual, intellectual DNA. I'm not the same person because now everything in my life works for real. So
two is better than
all the stuff
one.
I've been, if the two are correct.
If the two are correct, that's important.
I also learned from my wife because we both have been married and divorced twice, so we got the practice out the way. But what I learned from her is when you're in a relationship, you either have a teammate or a motherfucking opponent. And when you get a teammate, you good to go. When you got an opponent, you're gonna find out as time goes along that shit ain't working, and sooner or later you're going to break free. But I have the woman that I've looked for an eternity. Before I came on this planet, I was looking for Sonya, and I don't want to talk about that. We get to talk about her. You got to break out a box lunch. I'm about to go on stage and talk about her for 40 minutes.
I love that.
Right now, yeah. But she's everything, and she has the #1 soul food restaurant in Winston-Salem called Simply Sonya's.
Yum.
And I apologize to my mama when I say this, but she makes a better salmon croquette than my mama.
Oh
And
my!
my
We
mama
need to
held
cut that
title
out.
for 34 years. So what else y'all got? Cause I gotta go watch my show and see
Do we
what's
need to
going
cut
on.
that out?
No.
Y'all know your mama calling us talking about
Mama be
our
calling.
son.
What did you
is-
say?
Exactly.
Well, this has been a pleasure. We can do more of it later. I gotta get
This
to
was
work.
great. I appreciate it.
Y'all
Thank
are
you for
fabulous.
having us.
Thank you.
Yes.
Yay.
Have
They're
a
going to be
great
here
show.
with me at the show tonight. We're doing a show, and then also you can watch my morning show. I do a morning show on YouTube 5 days a week, the Michael Kite Morning Show. We've only done 990. So we'll do our 1,000th show come December 10th. And also get my new book, my children's book, Little Bobby White. It's on Amazon. And you'll be seeing my 1 hour special we shot 3 months ago. It comes out in February called The King of Venice Beach. Let's not talk more about me.
Well, we appreciate you.
I appreciate
God bless
y'all. I
you.
appreciate y'all even
Thank you
wanting
for
to talk
having
to me.
us.
Thank you, blessing.
Thank you. It was a
And
pleasure.
what's the show called?
All the Stars, Dallas Entertainment.
And you are?